Hello everyone and welcome to another Lucky Hit podcast. We haven't done one in, I
Two
don't
months,
know.
I think.
Okay, that's not,
it's about 2 months.
yeah. That's not too bad then.
That's good for us.
Yeah, that's alright.
Making progress!
So welcome to Lucky Hit podcast, episode 62.
We're keeping track.
So I'm Murry Curry and
I'm the Gagaman.
Yep, Jonny here.
Johnny Noophead. 5cm Prince sitting in the corner playing Sims. Which
There's game drop flying everywhere in the
Don't
Sims
game
right
shame
now.
me, okay? Don't
game shaming me. You're game shaming me.
You literally just said what you're playing.
You're playing something we're not, so
You're the one who had the
you're
shame
better than
connotation going on there.
Don't game shame me, bro. Why did you have to mention it?
Yeah, I had to heat it, didn't I?
He mentioned it more like.
Let's not get into that. So, we decided to get together and do a podcast because every year we try to get to EGX or Eurogamer Expo, as it was called before, and this year and last year we were unable to attend in force, but Johnny Noophead here is you. Did you go last year?
I wasn't there last year,
Right.
but
You certainly were there this year.
yeah. In fact, last year was the first ever year I missed EGX, and
wow.
yeah, it was heartbreaking. But this year definitely made up for it.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. That's already promising then for what's to come, because you'll be filling us in while also discussing it. Because
Yeah, it started.
Carry on up the Birmingham. I don't know.
We've got a title.
Carry on up the Birmingham.
Yeah, we've got a title. That didn't take long.
All right. Well, only if you can do our podcast heads in like Sid James fashion.
God.
Yak, yak, yak. Basically, like you say about being heartbroken about missing last year, it was the same for us because we gone like the 4 times before minus Gagaman missed 1 year. It's a shame because we've gone there every year. We love going there. We love filming it, and we just I think the highlight for us is hanging around with the indie developers and just chatting away and just
Big time,
like
the whole Res area. It's just a gold trove of just all kinds of cool stuff. Like
Yep.
rather than you could spend all that time queuing for one AAA game and play it for like 20 minutes and go, yep, that's that game again.
Yep, that's
or
the
you
same
can
as
go
the
in that
last one.
area and just walk up to all these new cool games.
And the guys who make it are right there, and they want to talk to you, and they're really cool. Yeah, I mean,
They
we've discussed
actually
this
want
before, haven't
Yeah,
we?
yeah,
But basically, that's what we love doing, and it's such a shame that we've missed it 2 times now, and I just want to make a bold promise that I will definitely go next year because I'm sick of missing it.
It's
now.
definitely a bit harder for us now that it's moved all the way up to Birmingham. When it was in London,
And,
that's quite
And
accessible.
we've stopped getting press passes. Why am I doing that? I don't know who I'm talking to. Yeah, people who run EGX. Seriously,
Watch
though,
this.
like we need those press passes to actually help us get there because they're expensive enough as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, 5cm Prince's game looks like your house is set on fire over there.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, so yeah,
you could
yeah.
say it, so.
That's the podcast.
So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, as I said, Aaron, rest area is literally right in front of you as soon as you go in.
Oh,
so
wow.
you like straight away get exposure to
Oh, nice. Oh, that's a good idea.
every single gamer.
They must.
That's really
They must be twigging that people like that more now.
Well, it's rather
give them
cleverly
more
laid out.
exposure, yeah.
Yeah. So you got your indies right in front of you as soon as you go in. So
That's really good, yeah.
everything's laid out there. So you're right, you've got your left field collection.
Oh,
which-
that's
Ah,
the
yes.
even India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the indie people. Which this year again they pulled it out of the bag. And do you remember this line game where there's an LED
yes.
going up and down?
That was so cool. Why isn't that not available in Argus?
Yes.
We've got loads of footage of one of the EGXs we went to, didn't we? And that was the year that was there. And
Yeah.
oh my god, that was probably the highlight of the whole expo.
It-
like this big LED.
It was my game of the show.
It was cool. It was described as like a 1D RPG, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
dungeon crawler, but yeah.
And that definitely fit the description. So, sorry, did you say that's
Yeah,
bad?
there was something similar to it. It was
Oh,
sort of like
okay.
best way to describe it is like a dartboard, where instead of like one line, it was like a whole circle, and then you got the inner circle, like two like lights chasing each other, and you had to sort of catch it, so like both lights at the same time. That was really exciting to watch because you don't see it anywhere else. But
No,
that's
I just don't understand how these things are not like pitched to Dragon's Den or something. It's like something that could be like a really cool little thing you could just buy and set up in your house.
I mean, I can imagine it all
toy
over the
thing.
ceiling in here. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
fun. It was really actually in depth as well, wasn't it? Like, it had a lot of depth.
It wasn't
to
even just the fact that it was all LEDs. It was like that bloody door stopper frigging joystick, wasn't it? Did it have something like that as well? Or?
No, it's set in an arcade cabinet.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it had an arcade stick,
Oh,
right in the middle.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Do you know what it was called, or?
I didn't catch the name of it, no, but I'm sure there's plenty of footage of EGX out there. But
Yeah, worth looking into actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I say, right in front of you, indie section,
Yeah.
the rest area. Then you get your mainstream titles, i.e. the big Xbox, the big PlayStation booths. Ubisoft had a really good booth this year.
Okay.
Okay.
I take it they were mainly with Murry and Rabbids, was it?
Yeah, there's a big,
I know they just come out.
huge open area with a Nintendo Switches basically every 5 meters or so, like dotted around. Then the huge Kong Rabbid.
Oh yeah, the one they had
yeah.
at E3, wasn't it? Yeah.
So they put like a little hashtag saying, "Hey, you're a Rabbid Kong EGX," or hashtag Kong EGX, and they did a prize draw for like Switch and a copy of Mario Bros. There.
Okay.
There's a huge South Park stand, Assassin's Creed, and what else is there? Big franchise.
What are Ubisoft coming
Far
out?
Cry.
Far Cry
Yes,
5.
yes.
That's it.
Oh, was that playable?
They had
Oh,
three huge, like closed off areas, obviously because
Yeah.
all 3 games being over 18s.
Yeah, of
And
course,
they really pulled out of the bag this year.
yeah, because they've got a lot coming out like this Christmas and that this year.
Yeah,
they're
they
quite
really have,
stacked
haven't they?
because
Yeah.
a few of their games, like the South Park one, was delayed for ages. It was supposed to come out at the beginning of the year, and now it's coming out at the same time as everything else.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but
Yeah.
we'll come to that later.
Yeah.
Then you have like your odd PC show-offs, so, like stands where they have like cases with lights flashing around. It's like it looks pretty,
Yeah.
but if you're not going to be streaming to like so and so amount of people, what's the point?
Yeah, they always have that sort of strange like PC tech stuff like tucked away in the corner, don't they? I remember when we was there before, there was like that gaming bus.
Yeah.
It was like a bus full of like keyboards.
I
or
didn't
something.
actually go in there.
No, I mean,
it
neither,
looked
no.
too ridiculous. I don't know what it was. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? It was just a bus full of PCs. or
Rainbow
was-
keyboards.
Yeah, it was Razer that
Right.
sorted it, and yeah, it's just headphones and keyboards and mice, and that's about it.
Yeah.
See, the way you say that it's got stands with all lights on it and stuff, that is just so typical for me of PC gamers. Like, look at my shit.
Even when they just have like the PC section in game, you notice all they ever seem to have is they have a tiny little section for games, and it's just like, look at this keyboard.
Yeah.
Look, keyboard.
This headset
Woo.
for £230.
Yeah.
Like,
It
that-
sounds exactly the
I
same.
don't know why that they seem to. I presume this is just a thing where the companies think that's all PC gamers want,
Yeah.
or I really.
I think it's a little bit of both sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe a
but,
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not mentioning any names, but all PC peripheral companies seem to be doing this like multicoloured sort of lights behind their keys and everything. Just
Mine
like,
can do that, but I never bother.
yeah, exactly.
I don't even,
What's the point?
if anything, if they gave me the option to take that out to save a bit of money, I would have done.
Yeah. I mean, like, yes, it's
Yeah.
nice to have some lights behind the keys like, when you're working at night, but
Yeah, that's all I've got on mine.
Yeah.
It's like dimly lit, so you can just about see it.
Yeah.
and then behind all the PC bits and pieces, the esports area.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I think there's a reason that it's right at the back. It's just like everyone.
That's where it smells most.
Yeah, it's sort of seemed like the whole testosterone thing seemed to be leveled up a bit. And you had the Street Fighter stand where there's constantly Street Fighter 5 being played like over and over and over.
Yeah.
And-
No Marvel then.
oh dear.
No one's buying that
No.
apparently.
Oh, right.
Ultra Street Fighter 2 has outsold it. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
supposed to be. In Japan, apparently Pokken tournaments sold 6 times more copies,
Yeah,
and there's a
sounds about
re-release.
Damn.
Yeah, Marvel just tanked. That's what happens when you half-arse your games. I'm sure it looks like it plays fine, but it's just like the character roster just looks really bland.
Yeah. Apparently there's some copyright issues here and there. So like
all the X-Men
Disney,
stuff.
saying no, we can't have them.
It has to be their movie franchises, so there's no X-Men in it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I may have mentioned this way too many times, but just me and esports do not. I don't get on with it.
I mean, like,
I would stay well clear
Does
of the
Overwatch count
esports
as
thing.
esports nowadays?
I'm
No,
pretty
yeah.
sure that's one of the main
that's-
things, isn't
Well,
it?
it wasn't one. I mean, until when it came out, it was.
Are you
know,
sure?
I think that game was built
It
for
was.
Yeah.
esports.
and it was specifically meant for younger audiences as well. So it sort of like be my first esports sort of venture and this thing.
Yeah, well, even Nintendo's sort of trying to
What with Splatoon?
kick that going.
Splatoon 2 and Pokken sort of.
Yeah.
Were they there?
Smash, of
They,
course.
they had their own championships on the main stage of the esports area. Which
Yeah,
was
so-
nicely done.
I'm not against competitive games, but the esports environment is so sort of, like you say, adrenaline, it's all the testosterone, it's all just too much. That's like they get into it so much to the point where it's like, I'll just calm the fuck down for 5 seconds where you're all just screaming and going mental, and they idolise these arseholes as well.
Well, that's the thing.
It's like, here comes our competitors, and they're these massive fat things.
Here
Am I
comes
fat
Mr.
shaming now?
Milkshake Duck.
And in the blue corner, which has been specifically designed for him to accommodate him. Sorry, carry on. I'm fat shaming now.
Oh, dear.
I am fat. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
I was actually in the audience for the Splatoon 2
Yeah.
tournament finals because I was involved with the Essex round last month. That all went well. Unfortunately, all the, I wanted to say Streetpass, but not Streetpass anymore, but the Nintendo independent groups were all knocked out by the semi-finals, so it wasn't really worth watching, but I just wanted to see it to the end because I was there from the start. And that wasn't so bad. So like when people went in, they were cheering and not that much controversy. But there was one team where they was wearing like stupid baseball caps with like a Minecraft pig or Peng across the top, just like sort of like the team.
That's
that
the
you
sort of thing
expect.
I hate. Yeah.
Sort of like the cliched esports team. But it's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, it's just me. I've just got a thing against esports, I'm afraid. I'm sure you guys might not be quite so venomous, but it's not like I'm against competitive games. I have run events in the past, haven't I, where we try to encourage people to get some friendly competition going. So, I don't know, really. So
maybe it's just the way they present it more than anything.
Yeah.
It's the way that if it was presented like one of the more sort of like nuanced like sports commentaries, but the way they present it, it's like wrestling.
Yes.
That's basically probably what it is. They go that sort of over the top.
Yeah. I'll never
way
forget
of-
that time when they were showing off Smash Bros. And they're doing a competition and they had the guy announcing and they did that Mega Man attack, his final Smash, and the guy just started screaming the old Mega Man cartoon theme tune.
Oh god,
It's like, calm down, you fucking dick.
Oh, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Sorry, we're not suitable for all advertisers now.
I don't think we ever were.
No, I'm not sure.
They were only just egged on.
So that was tucked away in like the
far back.
Okay.
Thankfully in a corner where
I think that's a really good idea, to be honest.
I'm really pleased with the fact that they've put like indies like front and centre at the start.
Yeah.
Because before it was like you'd walk in there in previous years and it was like the AAA stuff pretty much took over the whole. All the res stuff was kind of like tucked away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of in the
Or
corners.
the year we went last, which was 2015. It was just energy drinks all in your face. Do you remember that?
Oh, the second we got in, yeah.
Yeah.
Have energy drinks.
Thankfully, there's no energy drinks apart from if you used to wait in the queue for Destiny 2, which is a game that's already out.
You're going to need it for that.
Yes.
You're going to be queuing up for 2 hours so you can play it for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Is it
It's a grind fest.
Yeah.
But yeah, thankfully they cut down energy drinks to a minimum.
Probably
Was it tortillas or something this time?
Oh, no. It's something we've actually heard of.
Oh yeah.
It's actually Rockstar this time,
What,
who are doing a Destiny 2 promotion.
Right.
So it does make sense. But yeah, I think I don't want to give too much away because I'm not sure if I can say things and can't say things because I know things behind the scenes at EGX. But
yeah, we should probably explain your staff.
Get halfway through the podcast and might as well come forward. Yeah, I'm a volunteer, a staff member. Basically, I look after people on the show floor, basically tell them where to go, where games are, which this thing, which is pretty much why I'm giving everything in explicit detail because I was there all weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you've been doing this for years as well, haven't you?
Since 2009 was my first EGX.
Blimey, so you've been doing it for ages.
I remember the first time I was
No
there.
wonder missing it last year was so hard. If you've been doing it for that long. Like, you've nearly been doing it for like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, in fact, on the back of my shirt, it was the 10th anniversary of EGX.
Wow.
So that's something there. There's only so many bins in EGX. The organisers weren't too happy that people were just dropping their energy drink cans on the floor as soon as they'd finished with them.
I figured that might be why.
So they've tightened that up. Yeah, there was quite a heavy, I wouldn't say a fine, but they had to employ more people like list pickers to run around the venue just pick up the drinks and everything. So this year they probably just turned around and said no, we just have the normal amount of bins and have designated areas where people can chuck rubbish away. In fact, they had recycle bins and general waste bins this year, which is progress.
Yeah. People actually bother to, use them properly.
Yeah, no, that pisses me off. It's just,
I can't bother, put it in there anyway.
It's general waste. The retro area, supplied by Replay Events, who do
that's the other highlight a lot of the time.
I got so competitive there.
Speaking of which,
you
didn't have some obnoxious commentator describing what you were doing, but
that's my favourite kind of competition. Old school leaderboards, old school leaderboards, because you don't necessarily have to be there shoving it in someone's face, do you?
They had Sensible Soccer, Street Fighter 2, World Warrior, and something else.
Was this the leaderboard stuff?
Well, it wasn't special leaderboard this time. It was like straight up tournaments, but they done every day. They say, "Hey, we're having this at this time. If you want to sign up, turn up at this time."
Yeah,
and everyone had fun there. We also had a few arcade cabinets set up as well, which was nice to see. One thing we must say though, on the Thursday, the Gadget Show from Channel 5 were filming, and I'm sure a few people have seen this already. Craig Charles and John Bentley playing Outrun. So it was my favourite actor playing my favourite game in my favourite venue.
Oh, was he your favourite, is he?
Yeah, he was actually there.
Do you know what? I was watching some. I can't remember if it was you or I think it was Games You Loved on Facebook actually. They were filming a bit of it, and he's really good at Outrun. Actually, he was doing really well. Yeah.
I was.
Oh really?
I was really surprised.
Yeah, because I saw your photo of him sitting there playing it. So I'm like,
yeah, that's what I thought. I just assumed, actually, he won't know. And then on this footage, he was actually passing it all, and he was going, "Way, come on!"
All that was making me think of is like a live-action movie adaptation of All Stars Racing Transformed. Craig Charles as Ryo Suzuki.
Oh God!
But yeah,
I think it's
you done my dad. That's my best version of.
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, that's my best interpretation of that. So I'm not doing it anymore. Let's all just calm down.
It was a deluxe cabinet of the Outrun as well. They had a afterburner deluxe cabinet on the other side.
So what display was that? Can anyone play those?
Yeah, they were all free play.
I really want to go and play the proper Outrun. I've never played that
machine
before.
Never.
I've played every other version of it.
The closest I ever had was in the down the seafront. They had the stand-up two-player cabinet of Outrunners when I was little. So that was the closest I ever got to
That's why we still need to get to the arcade club. Well, really, really want to get
Upcoming video.
definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we've even been in talks with the guy who runs it about that, and yeah, like I won't say any more, but yeah, basically, there is a plan in motion to get that done. Yes. Just to anyone who might not know what I mean, there's a huge arcade sort of complex, I suppose now, because it's like multiple floors.
That's how big it is.
It started out as a guy's collection that he had to keep in a huge storage facility. We did mention this on a podcast before, didn't we?
Yes,
it was covered in a BBC show.
Yeah, that's
and then,
how we sort of found out about it.
Yeah, as part of that show, they encouraged him to step it up, and it's just he's gone from strength to strength since. I believe the guy's name is Andy Palmer, thank you. And yeah, he's gone from strength to strength, and now he's moved into, is it Bury in Manchester?
Bury, Greater Manchester.
Yeah. And he's just got this enormous, like, multi-floor complex now with so many more arcade cabinets.
Basically, my dream collection.
Yeah.
Because whenever you go to like these big places, like for example, when Disney Quest used to be in Florida and all that kind of stuff, they always have all the obvious arcade games. They'll have the Froggers, they'll have the Pac-Mans, blah blah blah. But the things you never see is all the old Sega hydraulic.
I think there's a reason for that because of the maintenance involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've all broke down, I suppose, but like you never see Space Harriers or Outruns or Afterburners, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And he's got all of them.
He's got every Outrun. He's got the deluxe cabinets. He's got Turbo Outrun. He's got Outrunners. He's got Space Harrier. Just every single one of those kind of machines you can think of.
And we've been wanting to go there for about 2.5 years now, I think,
at least.
since we first heard about it.
Yeah.
And we're hoping very soon to get our arses up there.
It's a long way from Southend, but
it'll be worth it.
It's totally worth it. So sorry, before that you were talking about Craig Charles playing Outrun.
Yeah, Craig Charles playing Outrun on the deluxe cabinet, and
that'll be on telly at some point.
Yeah, I think that'll be up soon, wouldn't it?
They also had all the other old school consoles. They had a whole area dedicated to light gun games.
Ooh,
so they had Time Crisis, Time Crisis 2. Can't remember the Master System title, but it had the phaser. They had specific stands for Mario, Sonic, and Street Fighter, which is like great to see.
Like a whole row of them.
Yeah, so like showing the history of all of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And as usual, with all like the Play Expo and everything, replay events had their own sort of LAN area. So they had Minecraft like PCs as far as the eye could see.
Oh, they did that a few years ago, didn't they? They've been doing that every year now.
I think
it's always been popular. So a lot of kids just
Nigel, get off your Minecraft. We're going up to EGX to play some Minecraft.
I said that to someone. I think it was one of the AAA, like the guys doing Ubisoft's promotion, and I mentioned like, I can play with Minecraft. He had a go at me. He was like, oh, well, they just like what they like. I was like, sorry. Like, he had a bit of not a go, but he said like,
when you were young though, the thought of you sort of cooped up in your room for hours and then playing the same video game. God, what would your parents have said about it? But now it's like, I like what they like, leave them alone. Jeez.
Yeah, my parents were always pushing me outside.
Those pricks.
Did they have any like unusual consoles in the retro area this time?
I saw a PC KFX. Which,
they had one of those at Play Expo when I went up to the one in Margate. So that was the first time I got to try one of them, and even though most of the games on it are shit, it's still a really cool console.
It does
look really cool. Different.
Yeah.
I
like the controller.
I do know there's quite a few hentai.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It is.
I thought you were going to say they were at EGX.
No, they had to keep things family friendly.
You know what game they had on it? Did they have that sort of bubble looking game where you're like attacking enemies?
No, they didn't. They had something
because there ain't much else worth playing on.
Had something that kept playing on a loop, but every 5 seconds it would have like disc error. So I don't know if it's the only game they can.
That's a bestseller on
play.
Disc error.
They also had a TurboGrafx 16, which a model that I haven't seen before. It's sort of like a round model rather than just.
Was it like the sort of spaceship looking one?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's actually called like Shuttle GT or something like that.
Was that still run by the guy who did the replay guys?
Yeah, Andy Brown does a great job of Play Expo, and at EGX. So.
What I was going to say is, I guess, because obviously you're working there, but did you get time to play anything?
Yeah.
What did you check out?
I'm probably going to get into trouble for this, but I've done my bit now. But yeah, I did spend quite a bit of time in the retro area. As I always do. They actually do know that I prefer older games, so I do pop over and see what's going on.
I remember we had a bit of rivalry going on, didn't we, a couple of years ago?
Funny enough, yeah, it pops up on my Facebook today, this day, and there's the final result where I finished second, you finished fourth in the championship.
My
Superstar Soldier game was strong, but my Drag Race was shit. And that let me down.
That is a really difficult game.
It was difficult. I did actually
spend half your time trying to figure out how to even do it.
Yeah, I did eventually manage to get to the finish line, but I would mess around too much and not quite get a good time. So that really that knackered me over, because I was also not too bad at Tony Hawk either, even though it was on the N64 version, which is horrible.
Yeah,
they did that deliberately.
Versions.
I bet they did. Yeah.
If it was Dreamcast version, that would have aced it.
Yeah.
But,
I'm just thinking, if it was the PS1 version, that's basically, I think that's ingrained in everyone's memory. They just go and just do these crazy.
Yeah, what the N64 one?
Yeah, again, because it was the most awkward version.
Yeah, I guess that might be by purpose. Did you get to check out any games in Res or?
I did check out, although it's not. Well, it is an independent game, but it's not what I would call indie because it is popular.
It's a game.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
Worms WMD on the Switch.
Yeah,
I know it's out.
They actually had it playable.
Yeah,
I didn't realise it was even that far along, because they only announced it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward port. I wouldn't say straightforward because obviously there's a lot of technical bits behind it, but
it looks the part and all that.
Yeah, it's great when there's two people with just the Joy-Cons and playing.
Yeah, I can imagine that works quite well on there, even with the analog sticks and that. It's turn-based anyway, so
yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, you could just share the one, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask about the AAA stuff as well, because I'm not...
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what was there this year.
Up to speed at the moment, because this year's just been kicking me in the face constantly with stuff, you know? I've got Cuphead on a couple of days' time. Well, by the time this is out, probably all around about then.
Yeah.
And I don't think I can afford it, which is really, really annoying, because I've been looking forward to that for ages.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. On the
It's too hard, it's shit.
On the Xbox stand, everything wasn't enclosed, but there was just so many screens going on with all different games. You couldn't really just focus on one. Yeah. Yes, they did have a massive Forza Motorsport 7 stand.
They always have a car.
Yeah.
They always have a... That's just Xbox in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every E3 and every EGX is just...
car.
Look at this car, look. Look, this is half of our booth. Just a stand for this car.
They did
That's a car. Well done.
They had a Porsche 911 and security guard at its side at all times.
Well, no one's allowed to touch it.
No one's allowed to touch the car. It's a car, all right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very good car, all right?
You'll know our secrets. Blimey. So what, is that like a brand new...
This car is powered by the Xbox One, Xbox One, Xbox One, Xbox One, Xbox One.
There's a lot of push for that as well.
Did they actually have some there to...
All the Xboxes that was on use on the floor were X1 1S. 1X. Not S. That's a different one.
If you abbreviate it,
XP,
it just becomes Xbox.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, I wonder if they did that.
I think they did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. XP.
Oh god, no, that's been done on purpose.
Yeah.
They're making it very convoluted to say.
It is a bit, isn't it?
Just call it the Xbox.
Can I get an Xbox?
Why
one
not
of
like the
them.
Xbox Plus or something else like that? That makes sense.
Maybe it's employees, so you go just the latest one, and they go,
yeah, just give me an Xbox, okay.
£500, please.
Yeah.
Just the latest one, because you're going to get like some poor mum or something that just goes, my son wants the new Xbox. I don't know. And they go,
no. That mum walks in.
Wario works for them.
Yeah.
That mum walks in and says, my kid wants a Nintendo. Everything's a Nintendo, whether it is or isn't.
Nintendo Xbox X it is.
Now it's Bonanza Bros.
It was really. What did Sony have much going on? Or?
They're still pushing VR.
Oh, that's good to know though, because I don't like the idea of them just going, "Oh, it's not
Yeah, I haven't heard much from their VR lately. I was going to
it's getting a little bit. It's getting a little bit worrying now. Sort of like the games are sort of trickling out, but there's been a couple interesting things recently. Do you remember that PSP series that was called like No Heroes Allowed or something like that?
Oh yeah.
It was like I'm not even sure what kind of game it was really. It was like an RPG or something.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a VR game of that's coming out in the next month or so.
So what did they have there? Did they have like Skyrim? I think I saw Skyrim.
Skyrim?
Yeah. Did they have Fallout 4?
They didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that one's still
that far
way
along.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird because they keep talking about that one, but it looks like Skyrim's come ahead. Maybe because Skyrim's an older game, so it's probably a lot easier to
Skyrim's
work
definitely
with.
coming out this year.
Well, the thing is,
You hear that, Kat?
Skyrim on the PS4, right?
Yeah, it's on PS4, isn't it?
What, the
PSVR.
On
the
yeah.
VR version,
on
yeah.
the PS4.
On the PS4. So,
On PS4?
yeah, there was Skyrim and eventually Fallout 4.
But it's like £800 for everything all told. I've done my figures. I've
Yeah,
done
if
my
you've got a
maths.
Pro.
Yeah, well, you
you
don't
kinda
really
need a-
Pro.
Yeah. Well,
If you're getting VR, it would be better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know,
'Cause-
who knows? Like, the normal PS4 might run the VR games now,
Yeah.
but when things get
Exactly.
like
yeah.
future ones.
I hate to say that, I hate this word, but it might be worth getting it for future proofing.
future proofing is not a thing that happens.
Future
But yeah.
proofing. Yeah.
It's good now, but it's not
Are they still? Are PlayStation VR still doing that thing where you have to book to play the stuff?
Oh,
Because
God,
that was
yeah.
really annoying.
Funnily enough, yes.
Ah,
Oh, the word.
I actually booked a session,
Yeah.
but I forgot all about it.
Oh,
I read my emails when I come
that
out.
was a
So, hold on
Spectrum
a
game,
minute.
you know.
Yeah.
What a wally.
Mm.
I know it was everyone's a wally. That's
Yeah.
it.
Andrew's a bully.
There we go.
yeah, you plum.
You're going to be
Yeah,
playing
But
Squim.
then again,
You've been playing Squimver.
What were you going to play if you did get or do you
it
get
was going to be Skyrim.
Oh,
You do have to pick your own game.
okay, because I would have gone for Skyrim as well.
Were you kicking yourself on the way home?
I was,
Oh.
but then
Skyrim on
You could have been
VR,
kicking
though?
yourself in VR.
Now you'll never know.
Yeah. I've got this vision of remember the Simpsons episode where it had like a virtual skee ball and then virtual ski ball.
Yeah.
It's like I've been kicked in the backside and I'm just sitting here and like,
So yeah, was there anything else with VR? I'm pretty sure I saw some pictures of Skyrim having a pretty big presence for that.
yeah, there
Yeah.
was. Can't remember if it was in the PlayStation bit or elsewhere. A game called Shooty Fruity.
Okay.
Basically,
Sold already.
yeah.
Yep.
You're in a supermarket, behind the checkout, you got to scan the items while shooting fruit, which is coming to attack you.
Okay.
Okay. Supermarket sweep meets Fruit Ninja, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are you doing there, love? Boop, bang, bang, bang. Boop, you need help packing.
It is.
That's really obscure.
I would say that is my show of the game of the show.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just because
Was it
it's
that
a
good?
bit different. Yeah.
Okay.
I've noticed there's certain things that just make VR what it is, and
Yeah.
like every game almost requires it. The ability to throw things, and they have physics,
Yeah.
so you could just chuck things away.
Like good physics behind
yeah,
it.
yeah. Anything that just lets you chuck shit everywhere.
The ability to piss with stuff in the environment. For
Yeah,
because
just
when I was playing that
fumble
London
out.
Heist, there's a bit at the start where you're sitting at a pub table and the guy's talking at you, and you can just pick up a phone and play around with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
I had a
Exactly.
lighter and a roll of money, and I was trying to set the money on fire, and he wasn't having it.
yeah, just arsing around with
Yeah.
stuff, physics-based stuff, and I've noticed that anything that's almost like an elaborate light gun game
Yeah.
works really well.
Rail shooters are really just perfect in VR.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're made for it.
Any game that's designed around sitting still, because designed with the knowledge that you will be sitting down while you're playing it,
or
so
standing
a lot of
or
them,
whatever, yeah.
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 Because
stationary but doing stuff around you. Yeah.
I'm happy to say that earlier this year I actually got a chance to play the Oculus Rift, and that was really cool because that's the one where you can actually scan your room, and so you have like a safe zone that you can walk around in, so you don't smash your room up.
So you don't put the controller in the wall.
Yeah, I still managed to do that. I blame that your mum didn't scan the room properly.
I didn't know you actually did it.
I played this amazing dungeon crawler called, what was it, Forgotten Realms or something?
Forgotten Realms,
yeah.
Okay.
And it was a game where, like, it does that whole teleporting thing, but you've also got the option to move around a bit, you know, to some extent, so you don't just have to teleport around. Because I don't really like that in VR, where you have to go just blink everywhere.
Kind of like, it almost feels like they haven't quite figured out a way to make motion work without making you feel ill.
Yeah.
So that's their compromise so far.
Yeah, I don't really like that. But with that game, I wasn't too put out by it. But yeah, it's just a really good little dungeon crawler thing. And yeah, it's like proper good shield and sword controls, and you can like interact with stuff.
I was going to say, in terms of the VR stuff, did they have a Doom VFR?
No.
What does the F actually stand for? Is it virtual fucking reality?
Yeah.
Well,
it is, isn't it?
They're trying to open the BFG.
What did that stand for? Because I never...
Big fucking gun.
It was Big Fucking right.
Yeah, it was Big Fucking Gun.
It wasn't the big false gun as it was in the Doom movie, but yeah.
The big friend gun.
Big friendly gun. Really friendly.
It just shoots out thumbs ups. So was that there? That's all?
Unfortunately not.
Is that maybe the same as Fallout? Where
It's probably not.
It's not quite there yet. I've noticed that there wasn't many Oculus Rifts about.
Right.
There's a lot of HTC Vive units being used for like the VR stuff. So I don't know if that's the way things are going, but
yeah, maybe that one's like taking the lead.
Oculus they're just so expensive. That's the problem, isn't it?
Well,
like, the
the
controllers are really
Vives are even more.
yeah, Vive is.
Sorry, no, I meant to say Vive. Sorry.
Yeah, but isn't sort of the benefit of the Vive is that you can actually move around in an area? They worked out the programming. So
exactly.
Even adjust some of the games adjust to the size of the room and stuff. So like Job Simulator will actually change the cubicle based on how much room you have.
The only problem with that though is, like I say, the cost for it is just pretty bad.
It's just like the technology's there, but it's just too expensive at the moment, and it's got to be a while before it becomes like mainstream. But
that's what I'm worried about.
I'm just glad they're doing it now. It's
I just
to the
hope
point where they can actually make stuff out of it.
Yeah.
It's not just like some weird arcade thing.
I'm just concerned. Yeah, like they need to actually stick to it, which unfortunately would mean that people do have to keep buying it, otherwise they won't.
I do like worry 3D. That Sony are going to drop it too quickly. Because they have a habit of jumping on a gimmick and then just sort of like dropping it very quickly. Motion controls, iToy.
They dropped the sort of the Move.
Yeah,
until
Move
there
was
was
kind of like.
Yeah, that didn't have a lot of stuff, did it?
No. That
obviously, it's kind of coming back with VR now.
They literally just retroactively brought back the Move controllers for that, and if anything, they're not really good enough for it because it's a bit jittery. But
I think it was a clever idea though to use stuff that's been kind of always forgotten. It worries me, I'd love to see it progress, but if it doesn't sell, they're not going to bother progressing it. So it's
in a bit of a weird place at the moment.
Exactly, it's hard to say where it's going to go, but I'd love to see it move forwards.
Yeah, it's good that Bethesda, of all people, like trying out Skyrim.
They've really gone for it, haven't they? Yeah.
Doom.
I think they've really like thrown themselves well into that, which is nice to see. I hope to see more of that. Even as we all know, with the recent reveal of LA Noire, that's got some VR cases coming out.
Oh, it does,
yeah. I think they've done about 4 or 5 of these cases that are specifically tailored for VR. So I reckon that's probably going to be new content, unless it is just repurposed old cases. I don't know.
Can you imagine those freaky faces really right up in the face though? In
go
VR.
around to and see.
It's
like the motion capture.
The little eye twitch is just like. No, I'm not telling the
truth. What else did you get to actually check out?
What else? Played some Gran Turismo Sport.
Oh, okay.
Just the usual Gran Turismo business where it's just racing cars and everything.
Yeah, but I bet they didn't have an actual car to look at though, did they, Sony? No. Take that.
I want a real Turismo. That is grand.
Thing is, with the Sony booth,
Yeah.
they try to theme bits and pieces in the booth around what it is. Basically, with Gran Turismo, they had like a big circle of racing seats set up, so it's like a tyre, as it were.
With that zombie game, they have zombie guys hanging from the rafters. Do you remember that?
Oh god, yeah.
The twitching actor and the
like E3.
hanging on the vine, like V3. He was just like, "What's he doing up there?" Oh, he does that.
He gets paid minimum wage for that.
Can you winch him back up now? He's done.
His 5 seconds of fame is over.
They had racing seats.
Racing seats set up, and barriers were actual race track barriers, like the red and white sort of thing. So that's cool. That. The FIFA 18 area had like advertising boards, as we'd have like around a football pitch.
Yeah.
The Call of Duty stand, because
just had loads of children.
Just had loads of Nazis.
They say they shagged your mum when you walk past.
No, the Call of Duty section just had a load of Nazis. Both dressed up and not.
And real ones for some reason. Sorry. Because that's a thing.
Dear.
Sorry, what did you call it?
They had not actual barbed wire, but sort of like plasticky barbed wire.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Man's land sort of thing. Because it's based in World War II.
Yeah.
They had an old school motorcycle which they used in the war as well. So.
Yeah, I like that actually. That's
they just
cool.
had some guy in the corner with a beer go, Judy War.
Judy War. So that's the Sony area.
In the FIFA 18 corner, they just had Pele.
Yeah, you just hello, I am Belly. I want to go home.
Kind of cold.
Sorry, Nintendo.
With Nintendo, they had their usual setup of like a huge screen.
Yeah.
With someone shouting like, "Hey, come play our games!" Like, on constant, on the go all the time.
Some kid with a terrible guitar.
Oh dear!
Throwing pins at people's heads.
I played Nintendo, yeah. Yeah, I got hit. Yeah. I got footage of me getting hit with a load of badges. You see me going, "Oh fuck!" Don't throw badges into the crowd.
They have pins on them.
You might as well throw bricks. Who wants some Nintendo bricks?
So they had.
So what have Nintendo? I mean, they got a lot to show, really.
Mario Odyssey was on the show.
Odyssey was on the show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's only a month.
I should expect that. Oh God, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like
today.
Oh, man.
1 month from today. Oh, okay.
I really want to play that when that comes out.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Something else happens on that day, doesn't it?
Yes. It's not the Assassin's Creed release either.
Oh, that's not the same day, is it?
It is.
Oh God,
Everything's happening all at once.
This year has been pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day.
All at once.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's all been in the last.
I saw a video the other day that said like, 2017 is a sort of really bad year for gaming. I was like, sorry, have you been awake this year? It started with Zelda, you know. Well, not right at the start, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, it did for us technically.
Oh yeah. And yeah, just Switch, and then I just had Metroid and. Oh, so much stuff. I can't even remember it all. Like I say, Cuphead in a couple of days.
Yeah.
I might be able to get that actually. I might be getting
Did Sega have Sonic Forces?
They did. Only
you can even
PS4
force me to play that.
only the PS4 and Xbox Xbox One versions.
Okay.
I thought it was only on the Switch for some reason.
No, it's on all three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's more expensive on Switch, but then again, it's the cartridge tax.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other.
Isn't everything though? More expensive on the Switch?
I've noticed that there's already like pre-orders for like the PS4 and Xbox versions at like £25 now.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Really?
Yeah. They're flogging it
actually
off
good.
cheap. Before it's even out, that says it all.
When I first saw the trailer, I want to root for this, but every time they show more stuff, I like it less.
It really does. To me, it just looks like they've given up.
Yeah.
And, like, they've had like 4 years since the last main Sonic game they did. And in that time, they just sort of sat on their arse and went, can we just not?
Yeah.
I'm fine. We'll
We've
do
had
it in the
enough.
last 6 months. We'll just throw
just a
whatever.
little bit a day.
We'll just copy paste some stuff from old games. You know, we'll take this level from Sonic Lost World, slap some Casino Night stuff on it, and just somehow make the physics even worse.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing how bad the physics are.
It's just so embarrassing. Straight off of Mania,
Yeah.
put out something that just looks so brainless and soulless, and they're not putting any effort in.
I know.
Oh, I've got a weird
they don't know
friend
what they
request
do.
from somebody I don't know.
Good. Facebook now is mainly just 90% sex bots. Trying to imagine. I keep getting on Xbox One as well. Have I done something weird? Have I gone on a weird site and like someone's got my details or something?
I think they just do it to everyone now.
Because I've literally had them where about 3 in the last... Actually, I haven't had them this month. It's last month I had about 3 in one go where they turn up and say, there's someone you've never met before, which I always found weird. I don't know how people could do that on things like Xbox where they just find your gamer's tag.
It looks like
And they start talking at you, and they go, "Hi, how are you? I'm shy." Ooh, that's often a sign. It's like, well, you're not that
Yeah,
shy. You just
yeah.
talk to a stranger. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then they go, "So, I got a great idea. If you want some fun." Oh fuck!
Exactly.
And then you go, I soon found. I don't know why I entertained them for as much as I had, but I soon discovered they were just robots. It's really easy to tell.
Do you want to oil me?
But yeah, they're just and if you ignore them,
Or something.
How do you segue into that?
If you
I'm a
ignore
little bit
them-
shy.
I think the algorithm works. It's about 15-20 minutes. So.
Goo.
But if you ignore them, they come up and bug you again. They say, "Hello, are you still there?" It's like, can you fuck off?
I can
So,
fuck
yeah, I've been.
you in the bum.
Oh.
What are you on about?
Six bots.
Yeah, but they
And
don't
obviously-
go that explicit.
They want you to go to some cam website and you have to. They give you a free pass, but it still requires your credit card details. I wonder why you need to give away credit card details for a supposedly free pass. Yeah, I was bored yesterday, mate.
Not even allowed on it then.
But one of them went, "What are you up to?" And I went, "Just putting on some shows for my child." They went, "Bye." I was on YouTube. I'm not really going to be getting up to anything major.
Maybe that's the trigger word. If you say child.
That's what it was.
Oh
yeah.
no! Oh no! Oh no!
They just went, "Okay, bye."
Abort! Abort!
Yeah.
Port operation.
No, yeah, I don't know how I got into that. Right, whereabouts were we, for Christ's sake? Well, Sonic
Nintendo.
Forces, yeah.
Yeah, well,
So yeah, I'm sorry, Sega, but when I first saw it, I thought, yeah, let's give this a go. And do you remember they showed it in that live stream, didn't they?
yeah.
And it had like a pretty slick looking, just a small section of that first.
Well, when they did that live stream, it was literally just a little teaser, wasn't it?
Yeah, after them, but they showed like the actual bit of gameplay from that level, and it looked pretty good. It's just modern Sonic doing modern Sonic things. I thought, yeah, there we go. There's more of that. That looks pretty cool. And then they showed the classic stuff, which isn't even necessary. And they somehow done. It looks like the classic's worse than it was in Generations now.
A lot worse.
Yeah. And the music sounds atrocious when usually the music's the thing they get right.
Like
And-
always, yeah.
And then, of course, they had the character creator, which I don't disagree with as a rule, but the one they used to show it off was like, what?
It's all the box art and everything. You know what they should have done with the box art? They should have just had Sonic with his arm around like a big round circle. Just you here. Your character here. Why didn't they do that?
That would have made a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Oh dear.
I should be on their marketing team. What the hell? I can help sell utter
Because I think that would have actually done really well as well, because that would have been the humour aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have sold a lot
That's
better
the problem.
than
It doesn't
douchebag
feel,
the twat.
it doesn't feel like there's any cohesion with any of it. Like, usually, even when their games are kind of crappy, like, you can tell they tried, and you can tell they put some passion into it and some soul into it, and they actually had some kind of cohesive idea.
Yeah.
Even Sonic 06, you can say they had an idea. It was a shit idea, but it was consistently shit.
No,
across
I know
the
what you
board.
mean. Yeah,
But
Sonic the Cash-In.
yeah, basically they wanted to make Sonic some kind of weird Final Fantasy thing, and they had that go through the whole thing. But yeah.
no, I know what you're getting from. Yeah,
But
where
this
you're coming
game, it
from.
just feels like they're just throwing a bunch of darts at a wall and going, right, I don't know, serious apocalyptic story. Put classic in because whatever, people want classic Sonic still, probably. I don't know, fan characters, dubstep, and weird Mega Drive sound font music.
That was the worst. The classic level of Green Hill Zone again.
Yeah, and then
that dartboard's
weird
wearing out, isn't it?
music.
The Green Hill Zone one.
Bloody weird music.
Yeah, that music was just.
It was like Sonic
horrendous.
4, but with even less actual composition.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not even out yet.
Bye.
Bye.
I've seen Prince just ran off.
Just left the building.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't sound good, but
And Mania exists.
yeah. There you go.
Just buy that again.
In fact, I think the first thing I said when I started to get into Mania was Sonic what? Sonic what? There hasn't been any
It's not
Sonic
a
games
good
for the
look,
last
is
15
it?
years.
It's not a
Apparently.
good look.
No.
It really isn't. They've put out like the most well-reviewed and well-regarded Sonic game in about 20 years, and then almost straight away coming out with something that's probably gonna like just look embarrassing straight after. It's like, oh no, we can't have too much positivity around this series. We're not allowed. You know, they actually put out a good game.
It's annoying, isn't it? Because we just made that. That game just came out, which is going to stop people from slagging off the fan base quite so much. But it's probably going to go back now because straight away I've already seen a video of some utter dick getting overexcited because there's some Shadow the Hedgehog DLC. It's like,
that level where you just sort of home and attack and home and attack and home and attack. And there's a bunch. It's Green Hill, but there's just like a bunch of.
Shadow.
There's a bunch of there's a bunch of concrete squares everywhere, and there's a bit where you just sort of go forward, spring, forward, spring, forward. Oh, there's a whole horde of bees just go wee through them by pressing one button. Well done. That's level design.
But it's Shadow.
I think
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I think my Sonic fan game had better level design than some of the stuff they've shown so far. So that's really bad.
Yeah.
But let's stop ranting about that. I could do that all day.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed. Basically,
EGX.
I'm disappointed that great decisions were made, followed by not so great decisions. So yeah, we're around about Nintendo's.
Yeah, they had Pocket Tournament, which was released on the week of EGX. Obviously they're showing that off as much as they could. What else? Monster Hunter Stories for 3DS, and
that looks interesting. That one.
some game called Metroid Samus Returns. Don't know if you heard of it, Tom. But,
I'm not sure. No, is it about trains?
possibly.
So we just need to mention trains occasionally, just in case, the algorithm notices.
I thought he was on about the old Metro system there. Was it Metroid 2022, 50, 97?
Something along those lines, yeah.
So yeah, Samus Returns is something I want to talk about soon because
It happened. We went through that live stream and we were lucky enough to see it. Tom exploded.
I was like, well, do you remember my first reaction was, no, it can't be. I was just like, is that another
since
Metroid?
it wasn't announced on the actual
That annoyed me
thing.
a bit, yeah.
And it was only because we hung around for like another
Yeah.
half hour that it just suddenly appeared.
Why would something as strong as another
a
2.
Metroid you can actually show off because it's coming out like in a month.
Why
or
would
a
that
few months.
not be included on the main presentation? It just made no sense. It was immediately afterwards, but it just doesn't make any sense why that wasn't shown off. To
Oh, by the way, whatever, just this.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Metroid or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that. So they had a display for that, yeah.
They had a few 3DSs set up, so it's good to see that they're still thinking about the 3DS, even though they've reduced it a bit. But they're bringing out a few, I thought they didn't have it on the show floor, but the new couple of editions, the SNES and Pokeball edition. So 3DS just still going.
I hope it does. I hope the 3DS does
I think
carry
they're
on
going
for
to
a good
keep
few
it.
years.
I think they will keep it going just because people are still buying it. So why would they stop?
Yeah, I know, it wouldn't make sense.
I think they're probably going to slow it down, but considering some of the stuff they've announced for it in the last year, I think there are still going to be some surprises next year for it. And I think
I really hope so, because it's a great system and it's been performing spectacularly its whole life. So there's no reason.
It started a bit slow, but they
did it?
Yeah, it actually started quite slow.
Oh, right.
It really turned around sort of.
Oh right, I didn't know that.
Price drop.
Because when it first came out, it was really expensive, wasn't it? It was like 350 quid or something like that.
As people may know from previous podcasts, I do my own Streetpass group, and it took me until Sunday afternoon, like considering I'm on the floor the whole time at the EGX, Sunday afternoon to get 100 street passes.
Oh God, that's been happening so much over the last few years. They just died.
Yeah,
really I've gone for whole trips in London. Like I've gone from various zones in London, and I've only picked up 3 or 4. I just think that can't be right. I keep thinking my DS is busted or something, but no, it's the same everywhere. We're just not picking them up, are we?
No, people are not taking them out anymore, I suppose.
I went to a trip.
It was bound to happen at some point. But
last month, I went on a trip to Poland. I had my DS with me the whole time. I got nothing, not a thing. The only one I had was Shane from here. I obviously,
when I went on my cruise a couple of weeks ago, I didn't remember to turn it on every time we went into a country, but I thought, I'll try and fill up some of the map. We'll take it out. I think I managed to get 2 street passes the whole holiday. And as soon as I came back to Southend, I managed to get a whole 10 just walking down the high street. The high street here is actually really good for getting.
Yeah, because we got.
I guess because of the college and stuff.
We've got game.
I take it the other one's no longer a hotspot, isn't it? Because that's no longer there.
You know what I'm really curious about? Does Streetpass use in any way internet, or is it literally just using other 3DSs? So even if Nintendo servers ran down, do you think the Streetpass stuff would still work?
Yeah, it would.
That's cool.
Okay.
When we're all in retirement homes, we'll be going, I'm doing the Streetpass, let's do that again.
Shigeru Miyamoto back in 2008.
I like the idea that might still work in the future, even if not many people. You might get little gatherings of people that just want to reminisce on it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised actually
because
it is actually down the line little revival groups that want to bring
that
back
would be actually kind of cool. Because for me, that is the main selling point of that system.
It is one of my favourite things on the system. That's why I'm so pissed off I'm not getting Street Passes anymore, because I absolutely adore the Street Pass games. I love the idea of going out and getting little achievements for doing stuff with them, collecting the play coins. I love all of that, and that's what's been keeping the system going for me, because I haven't got a massive selection of games for it, but with the Street Pass quest and stuff like that, I've got enough content there alone. That's been keeping me going the whole time I've had it.
I'd say my absolute top game on the system is the Street Pass mentioned game. It's my favourite game on the whole system.
Sorry, we really do keep going off the rails.
Do a bit.
What else happened at EGX? The merch stands were good this year. It was good to see an actual Game Boy mod stand.
Was that Dead Pan Robot?
No, Game Boy Shack.
Okay.
Oh, a different one, okay.
They had a huge selection of modded Game Boys of all different colours and varieties.
I really want to do that actually. I like the idea of having a backlight on the Game Boy. I mean, that's just a no-brainer, isn't it? Really.
They also had little cartridges for the GBA and Game Boy, so. It's good to see someone.
Usually there isn't stuff like that there, is there?
No.
They don't really let in a lot of sales like that. No. Usually it's just general merchandise stands with T-shirts and stuff. But
there's a lot of T-shirt stands.
Yeah.
No Game Legends, who do little bits of merchandise for pretty much every game going.
Yeah.
They had about 3
they're
stands.
Usually there all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they come all the way from Holland.
Right.
Yeah,
well, they're not there this year, did you say?
3 stands they had.
Right.
In fact, one of their stands was just Blizzard stuff. Because it was in the PC area, in the East
wow.
Had a Japanese candy store.
I was going to say, because Cyber Candy are gone now, aren't they?
They're long gone,
they're
completely shut down. It's funny how the shop in Covent Garden is actually an import sweet shop, which isn't Cyber Candy, but it's just not the same. Japanese candy store had cans of Pokemon themed drinks.
Oh yeah.
£3 a can.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw your picture.
Jesus.
One of my friends.
What's in the
lives in
Pikachu can? Rat's piss. Probably. I don't know. What's in the Meowth one? Cat's piss.
It's just various piss.
Yep.
That's crazy though, £3.
Yeah, one of my friends who lives in London, he found a Korean supermarket who was actually selling the same drinks with Pokemon cans, £1.29. So that just goes to show how bad Expo prices can
Yeah, the
be.
markup for that stuff just pisses me right off.
The amount they have to pay to have their stand in the
Is it expensive?
That's
they have to
basically
cover the cost there. So
Right. I suppose, yeah, that does make sense because I mean it is like the major expo for gaming in this country. So
It pretty much is RE3.
I think it's
at
the
this
one,
point.
isn't it?
It is RE3 now, I think.
I certainly treat it like that when I go.
Oh, yeah. One thing that people were asking me whenever I was on the floor, just like, is game here?
Oh
And
yeah, they usually are.
They usually are, but because Game own Insomnia,
Yeah.
the Gamers Festival that's also at the NEC,
Ah.
they sort of put all their effort in Insomnia,
Right.
so they're not both rejects now.
They weren't even there.
So
Okay.
who they
That's
had?
another thing I need to make to and have a look.
Yeah, they had Amazon in their place,
Okay.
of which they didn't actually have any games to sell. They just gave out catalogs.
Amazon catalogs.
Amazon catalogs.
How big is it? Is it like
Yeah.
1 billion pages?
No, it's just all the major gaming stuff, but it just seems so redundant that.
Well, yeah, even their gaming
let's,
full catalogue would be
let's
crazy.
flick
wouldn't it?
through this book of stuff that's on my phone.
Hang on a minute, it's constantly changing on the page as well.
It just went 2p down.
Buy.
That's weird.
How do I add to wish list?
Because I know sometimes they have CX there, don't they?
Yeah, they weren't there this year.
Okay. I found it was really weird when I saw him there before because it was just like a condensed version of one of their shops.
It is.
It was really weird.
Yeah, they do that in MCM as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I've won a competition. I can't remember which event I was at,
Right.
but I won some games. I tried to trade them in at the show just to see if I could or not. Oh no, we haven't got our scanner ready. Just like, I'm stuck with this game. I think it was NBA 2K14.
Oh, you could have got like 10p.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could have got your 10p there. Or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
5p or whatever.
So even when they're at an expo, they make sure to get their most incompetent staff.
Yeah.
Right, I'll just go find a disc.
Yeah. I can still.
Like half an hour later, here it is. I'll just scratch it across the table, and slap it in the case really fast, and smash the box up.
I'll
Here you
never
go.
forget this time I was with Phil in the game station and he wanted this game and the guy got it and the disc and he rubbed it on his shirt and Phil went, I'll fucking forget it, and walked off. And I was like, it was so funny. And too right, the guy didn't have to do that. He went, a bit of dust, and just started rubbing it on his shirt. He just went, I'll forget it. Just fuck off.
No.
Yeah, no. It was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, dear.
How was it for space at EGX this year? Was it still
Everything-
crammed or
No. Yeah,
was it quite spacious this time?
A lot of space this year.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The only places where it wasn't all crammed up was like obviously the queues.
Yeah.
The worst for queues were Destiny 2 for some
Which
reason.
is out.
Why?
So
Well, it's been out for a little while, hasn't it? Or at least, how long has that been out for?
did it
About a
come
month?
out when the expo was on?
No,
or
it was
did
last month I think.
That's what I thought.
Earlier this month. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So still,
It was probably like a week away then.
It still doesn't justify travelling all the way down to Birmingham and queuing up for ages for a game that's out.
Well, there's that. What was it? Super Mario Odyssey. Obviously, people go in the queue after that.
Oh,
because-
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, the demos were probably quite long for that as well, weren't they? Or
Um,
at least 20
Was
fair
was
chunk.
the demo in the city? The
New Dawn City,
New Dawn
yeah.
City? Was it just that, or was there?
There was. Do you remember the Mexican theme one?
Yeah.
Yes, that one
Yeah.
as
Excellent.
well.
That's good then. So it looks like there's probably a substantial amount of stuff to do in the demo.
But other than that, I didn't notice any huge queues, other than obviously like Call of Duty and the FIFA and Gran Turismo. Like having long queues, but it doesn't seem that there's too long a wait this year. Say like 90 minutes was like the most I've seen, but other than that, it seemed pretty efficient this year.
Okay, that's good to hear.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to absolutely promise myself now that I do not want to miss next year. I definitely want to go next year. I think what kind of done it for us this year was the fact that we had a wedding like last month, so that just drained all our money, because otherwise I might have been able to at least sort of scrape it together, you know. But fingers crossed, you know, maybe next year things will be a bit clearer, and I really want to go, and I definitely want to get some more coverage out there. But one thing we've learned from the past is with our coverage is just it's more of a personal thing, just having a laugh and not worrying about covering everything.
Because I think what happened last time we went is we filmed so much stuff that it was just daunting, wasn't it?
It was
to cut through.
Yeah, because I mean we were knackered from the trip anyway.
We managed to get some of it out, didn't we? And it was like we were trying to do like these little impressions, like voiceover things. And it was like, right, let's talk about Cuphead. We've got about 10 minutes of footage, and then we ended up talking about it for half an hour. It's like, right, we've got to cut this down to 10 minutes, and it was just like,
we just got so overwhelmed, and
it was just hard.
Bogged down by
what we'll do in future is we'll just put out all the clips.
And also we love the when we did the travel vlog stuff.
That
was so much more fun, and just like
I think there's plenty of other people actually talking about the game, so we can just say, we played this, and this. We liked this, and this. We don't really have to go into every little detail. That's what the podcasts are for.
I'm more of a fan of that personal touch as well, where it's more about what we did and how we felt about stuff, instead of just trying to be really like super journalistic when there's only a couple of us doing all this stuff, you know. So we've learnt lessons from the past, and even not related to covering it for the channel, I just love going to that event. You know, it's what I'm into. You know, I love gaming, I love the industry, and I love going to these events, and I just don't want to miss another one. I've missed two now.
Well, there's also that separate Rezzed one they do in London still. So
I'm already planning to go to that one, actually.
When is the next one?
It's like, is it April sort of time?
The middle of April, I know that. EGX 2018 is the 20th of September to 23rd of September. So around this sort of time next year.
Okay,
already.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we should maybe try Rezzed, like the London Rezzed, because that's basically our favourite thing from there anyway. So
the more I hear about that, the more I just think it's definitely for us. Apparently, though, I have been not warned, but I have been told that it is a bit more catered towards educating people about the industry at the moment. Like in terms of becoming a programmer and becoming a developer and all that sort of stuff. That's cool. It's still interesting to us, but it's. I personally prefer just getting close and personal to the people that make the games. You know, I don't even
especially
do
on the indie side. They really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even do keys fishing when I'm there, because I just think that's a bit impersonal, and I think they get a lot of people coming and bugging them for keys. I just like chatting. I do my please give us keys and that sort of. I don't even do too much of that, but when I do, it's all in email and it's all in private later on. But when I'm there, I just chat. I'm not there for any other purpose. Then I want to chat and maybe talk on the camera. So I just love it. We just lose hours doing that, don't we?
Yeah, Rezzed is easy.
Some of the characters we meet who make the games. I'll never forget that that guy. I think he was French, wasn't he? The one who did that really good combat game. The one that kind of looked a bit like Fable, when you sort of play as these destructible knights. And a really complicated combat system. We were chatting away with this guy, and he was really eccentric, wasn't he? He was like, he had these actual achievement stickers that if you beat the level, he comes over and gives you one of these little achievements, and he goes, "Ba-ding." And he was just such a laugh. I just love all that. So I really think we should go to Rezzed, and I do not want to miss EGX again. So just to sum up, what would be your highlight of the event, whether it's a game or just something that happened or whatever?
Today, just when it first opens up each day and like everyone's just coming in and like seeing all the indie games like straight away and just like, oh, that looks a bit different, let's go there straight away. And
that's a really good idea though, doing that.
Yeah, having that as the first thing is really
because
cool.
I mean, every year indie just gets so much bigger, doesn't it? Like it's crazy now. It really is. I've actually gone for. I've been talking about this all year, but I'm really losing my enthusiasm for AAA titles at the moment, because of things like the price and the exclusivity, and they have to like like the whole thing with Metroid and the SNES Mini. I had to sort of camp online and keep it refreshing the page just to be able to buy it. It's just like, why do I have to jump through hoops to spend too much money? It's all this stuff, and like the fact that every time a new game comes out, everyone's like, I just see all these people just like taking the same pictures of it all the time. It's just, it's like one big popularity parade now, and I'm sort of losing my luster for it with that, and the fact that most of these AAA games are the same thing. I love Assassin's Creed, but come on, it is the same thing day in day out, whereas indie games
time totally different.
And even as someone who's I'm a self-professed confessed
Professor.
I'm a self-confessed Assassin's Creed apologiser, and even I think, there is a limit. You guys are just doing the same.
1 year out.
Oh no, that's made a world of difference because this game looks totally the same. But it's like I can either spend loads of money, like full price games that do the same thing each time, or I can spend about £7 on a game that's just like colourful, different, and has really good ideas for a start. It's got good ideas, something fresh to it, and a really far out there sort of approach.
While you're busy playing those, you can wait till the AAA games have been out for like 3 months and get
and
them for like
gone
a tenner.
down,
Get them for a tenner or whatever.
Again, Assassin's Creed, they're always full price in October, and then when it comes around to Christmas, you can pick them up for £20 or like less.
Yeah.
So I've learnt my lesson with that. I don't chase too many collector's editions anymore.
You can't see Tom's doing the arm motions. He's wiggling at his cabinet that is now full of Metroids.
Yeah, it's about to burst that whole cabinet.
It's unorganised at the moment.
We should probably finally let you talk about what you've been playing and what you've been admiring in your cabinet.
So I was one of the lucky, and I do say this, I don't have any ounce of I've got a big head about it, but I was able to secure with the help of Andrew actually. Johnny Newpez, the copy of the Legacy collection of edition of Metroid Samus Returns, which is the recent remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus.
Legacy edition heritage. That's obviously the
Edition heritage. And as some of you may know, it was a European exclusive, which I think is kind of out of order. It's European exclusive, and it was in quite a limited quantity. So when they first appeared, I think it was Game that got the first wave of them. It's weird that Game got them first. I was on there, and I was on there pretty much straight away, but it was too late already. They'd all gone.
Yep.
And that really, I don't even remember that. I did a big old Facebook rant about how fucked off I was with it. Because basically, this is going to make me sound like I'm really big, anyway, but Metroid personally is very important to me. Because it was one of the first Game Boy games I played. It was this game that got me into the Metroid series, and it's still, to this day, probably my favourite Metroid game, even though it's kind of one that, I mean, it's not hated, but a lot of people fans of the series
as like, it's not the true, Super Metroid was the true sequel.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, the fans, they sort of didn't hate it, but they didn't really like
just a Game Boy game.
Yeah,
it's just a handheld side thing. It's not. Mainline thing.
And also it's quite linear compared to the others that are quite open. 2 is actually surprisingly corridor-like.
Yes.
There is still secrets and stuff like that. You do still have to do all the bombing weird bits of wall and stuff, but it's nowhere near as much as 1, and Super Metroid was the one that really blew it up. But for me personally, I love it, and I think it's such a great turning point in the story as well, where it's like you are single-handedly wiping out all the Metroids on the planet, and apart from the last one that you decide to save, and all this sort of stuff. So I was really looking forward to if anyone, you might have seen our live streams of E3, you see that I got I was confused and then excited. I was like, this can't be a what?
Yeah.
And then it had that thing, didn't it, where the Metroid eats the little thing that comes out the room, and I was like, this is another Metroid. But then it didn't take me long to tweak that this is 2, like just because of the environments.
We all sort of went, is this 2?
Yeah. Yeah, so I've just gotten over the AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, which was that brilliant fan one, an absolutely fantastic project. I've literally been watching that since the day, or very close to when the guy announced it, which was, we're talking over 10 years ago here. This guy announced it ages ago on his own little website. Yeah, I've been following it. It must be about 10 to 12 years. I might be wrong there. It might be a little bit shorter than that. But this guy's been working on it for so long, and basically he kept releasing demos over the years, and I kept getting them and thinking they were bloody good. And he finally released the full thing, and I'm still trying to speedrun that at the moment and trying to get good times on that. So I wasn't expecting Nintendo to finally, make the good decision of letting the team loose on doing it properly. And it's Mercury Stream, who some people would celebrate that, some people would go, not them. But as far as I'm concerned, they handled Castlevania pretty well, but just they shouldn't have been let loose with the storyline. They should have just done the gameplay. They did that. The Lords of Shadow, the reboot of Castlevania. I loved the first one. Absolutely loved that from start to finish. And then the 3DS one was really good, but that's when they started messing with the story. And then the second Lords of Shadow, the second major game, I suppose you could say it's the third one, really. Again, crystals. Again, it was a pretty good game. It played brilliantly. These guys know how to do good action games that are challenging and just like gorgeous to look at and fun to play. But they've messed around with the Castlevania lore so much that a lot of people just went, nah, fuck off, I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Anything you make in future will be shit, I'm sure.
Exactly. But like I say, in terms of gameplay and aesthetics, these guys are just fantastic. They're a Spanish studio. I can say right now, from someone who might like Metroid 2 and are wondering if this is going to be a good job of a remake, it's fantastic. The first thing they've done is they've padded the game out. It's huge. It took me ages to finish it. My normal playthrough without trying, I'm quite thorough anyway. I'm always going back to areas and looking back. So it wasn't a fast playthrough by any standards. I got lost a few times and I was looking at every nook and cranny constantly. And it took me about just under 12 hours to beat the game. And then I went back and did 100%. It took an extra hour and a bit. And so that's not bad for a Metroid game, to have that much gameplay. And then, I've still got a hard mode that I'm playing through now, and then there's an even harder mode as well if you've got the Amiibo. And there's lots of content, and there are rewards for doing the same times as the Game Boy. You got to do it under 2.5 hours to get the best stuff, and that is going to be tricky. I was watching the completionist doing it, and he literally had to draw the whole game map out and plan his route.
Oh god!
And he did it.
So definitely not as linear as it was originally.
No, it's still. Well, that's the funny thing. You can still see the basic blueprints there. But they have gone
fleshed it out.
They've gone their own direction in some areas. But you can. If you know the game. Because it's not as fresh in my memory as I thought it would be, because I haven't actually played through 2 in years now, although I will soon, because it came with this version, the original Game Boy game. That was really cool. They threw that in as like an extra thing in their collection, where you get the digital version of 2 as well. It's not as fresh in my mind as I thought it was, but little bits did click when I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I'm going to stop talking, I'm going on about it for ages now, but one of my favourite things about it was they've done a really good job of integrating the backgrounds. Like, the backgrounds look really nice with the foregrounds platforms, if you know what I mean. Okay. So there's a bit that's like, it's a huge map that's the hydro pump station. It's just like this massive, great big water treatment facility. Yeah. And the background, you can just see this whole building go right off into the distance. And then obviously the 3D depth of field helps with it as well. It makes it look even better. But it's just you're using your spider ball, which is like the version of the morph ball that can go up walls. Okay. And you're going up, and there's the 3D, it's hard to explain without really showing it, but like the way this building goes all the way back into like these huge caves with like water flowing, and then right up to basically where the platforms are right in your face. It just works so well. It looks so good, and there's loads of stuff like that in the background.
I'm glad they they're still using the depth of the 3D and the 3DS.
Yeah,
to
it
do cool
really
stuff
worked
like
in that game.
It's-
Yeah, so there's one little thing I didn't like in it. My last point I'll make. The whole game, literally start to finish, was amazing. I loved fighting the Metroids. Fighting the Metroids was actually really fun. Where in the Game Boy game it got kind of annoying. You dread certain ones, but in this one, even the worst big nasty ones that you get at the end, you're still like, this is really cool the whole way through. Yeah, the one bit I didn't like though was it's kind of like a chase sequence. You know, those kind of sequences where the edge of the screen will kill you and it moves along. It's like, sorry, but that's not Metroid.
Auto-scrolling.
That's it.
Yeah.
Basically, it's an auto-scrolling section, and as far as I'm concerned, that's not Metroid, right? But you know, in Metroid, you got to like find walls. You don't know which ones are going to break. Imagine doing that when the screen's coming at you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I hated that. That was the one bit of the game I didn't like. Luckily, it was a short section, and the rest of the game was totally enjoyable. And I don't really want to ruin anything by going too much further into it, really. But very soon, I'm finishing off.
Glad it turned out to be really good, though.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm so impressed with it, and also the stuff that comes with the collector's edition is really good. It's very rare that you buy a collector's edition and then you're. Sometimes when I'm looking at some of these now, and sometimes when I buy them, I think, yeah, they're really cool, and then in my mind they're going, that's a bit of shit. Is it really worth that much?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
For Metroid, it was £60 for the collection, and bearing in mind the game's about 35 to 40 anyway. So you're talking about 20 to 25.
A load of extra stuff with it.
Yeah, I mean, it came with the Game Boy game for two. I mean, that's about, £3 something, isn't it, normally? So there's that. Mm-hmm. And it comes with, like, a keychain that's a morph ball that looks really cool. This little badge that's like one of the Federation's logos. It comes with a brilliant soundtrack that's not just for this game, but it's got a whole bunch of soundtrack. It's about 25 tracks, and it's from, like, various different songs from other M and some of the Prime games, and even some of the SNES stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
It comes with a normal box of the game and a steelbook, which is I don't know if it might be worth showing a picture at this point, but it's like a kind of like a big replica of the original Game Boy cartridge for Return of Samus, and it's just. Some people have slagged it off, but I really like it.
I love how you turn it around and it's still got like the bolt in the back. It's not even just drawn on, they've actually put the bolt in the back. Yeah. It's ridiculous, but it's brilliant.
And it's got lovely art book that's reversible, so it's got original concept art for the Game Boy game, which is great. And then you reverse it around, and it's got obviously the recent version's artwork as well. And
you've shown me even like the download code piece of paper for the Metroid 2. It opens up to a lovely like little mini poster of the original box art.
I'm actually going to get that framed. It looks so good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just absolutely stunned. I even bought the 2 amiibo that came out because again I knew they would disappear. And you got the squidgy Metroid, which is a lot of fun. And then you put a video up.
Just like,
Your little squidgy Metroid and a really nice Samus that's done again like the front cover to the Game Boy game, which is sort of knelt down with the gun up, and it looks really good. Those amiibo were expensive. I think they were like 15 each, so that's actually quite standard, isn't it, for amiibo?
Yeah,
I haven't bought a lot of amiibo actually. Most of mine up there have been bought like presents and stuff by you actually. I do want to get a lot more amiibo, but I know that if I get into it, it'll become way too addictive, and I'll spend too much money on it. Isn't that right?
I think I'm about 20 now.
I'm not quite as bad as Dave.
I don't think anyone is.
Didn't he say he has every one of them?
It's impossible for anyone to have more than he has unless they have doubles.
Wasn't it Dave who said he had every one?
Dave Austin has every single amiibo worldwide, not just.
So he's got like the golden Mega Man, the golden Mario.
He's got it.
Jesus
all
Christ.
and
all the cards as well.
Yeah, all the cards.
He was showing them to me when I saw him once. So I was like, oh god. Wow. So I've gone on about that way too much, but I've nearly finished the Metroid Zero Mission videos. Well, I say nearly finished; they've all been recorded, but I need to put them together. But we're doing a Let's Play series, or a Lucky Hits Play, should I say, of Metroid Zero Mission at the moment. Straight after that, we're going to be doing Metroid 2 Return of Samus on the Game Boy. And we'll be discussing all of our Metroid Samus Returns thoughts while doing that. So.
And AM2R, I guess.
Yes, I do want to cover that properly as well. I'm in the process of practicing up on that because I want to do a pretty good run for that.
It's just really interesting how they both ended up coming out pretty much months apart,
Yeah.
didn't they? Or within the same year. I still think this remake actually happened because of that aim.
So do I.
I do think they looked
because it was on Nintendo's radar.
People want that, so let's do that.
Actually, it's very interesting. You mentioned that because I've looked into it since, and I've been told that Mercury Steam originally approached Nintendo because they wanted to do Fusion. They wanted to remake Fusion, and Nintendo said, "Well, no, but can you do 2?" So I'm really hoping that because I'm pretty sure this game's going to be well received. Is it doing all right? Do you know?
Yeah, it's doing really well.
That's what I was hoping, because I have been seeing videos saying things like there was one video that was called like why this is a big deal, which I thought was cool. So yeah, fingers crossed, because this is going to do all right, Mercury Steam will get the freedom to do Fusion next. Imagine seeing this, but with Fusion, that'd be bloody brilliant. You can tell they're obsessed with Fusion, because they've been putting loads of things about Fusion in too. Like there's like a little intro to it, and the X-Virus is mentioned there. And then when I was about to ruin something there, but there's another X thing that happens at some point in the game that also goes, oh, why are you mentioning that? Now you can sort of tell. So here's hoping that Nintendo are going to do the same thing with Sega, and then we'll have sort of the Mania thing going on. It's funny, isn't it? It has been like a year for that almost. Because
it really has.
Playing Samus Returns, I got the same feelings I was getting while playing Mania. But I'm a huge Metroid fan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So there was one song that came on. Again, it was another one of those songs that made me stop and go, oh. It was, again, I'm not going to ruin it, but there's one returning song that's not from 2. That's from another Metroid game. That was like, oh, well done, guys. What a good choice. And, I've got that same thing as Mania, just like with these little touches and stuff like that. And obviously, again, as I mentioned, 2 is a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
That's why I got so upset when I nearly didn't get it, because 2's like, it's not just, I'm not just scrabbling to get a thing to show off. It's actually, it's a game that I put it right up there as one of my top 20, I think. It's not quite top 10 material, but near enough,
Yeah. Definitely probably a top Metroid.
Yeah, it's my favourite Metroid game, which a lot of, when I say Metroid 2 is my favourite, sometimes people go, you meant to say Super Metroid, didn't you? Absolutely fantastic job there, and I'm going to shut up.
There'll be plenty more Metroid on our channel coming up, so
it's about
we'll have
time
plenty of opportunities to...
It's certainly about time I did more Metroid coverage, because I don't think there's been enough on this channel.
No, I don't think there's been any.
This
might even be the first.
Yeah. So I need to sort that out. Yeah. And Shelf Gamer, he's very interested in doing more Metroid stuff with me, because we're both huge Metroid fans. So look forward to that. What else have you guys been playing?
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
You started on that.
Yep. I haven't made much progress, but I'm having fun so far.
Yeah.
So like me and Aaron were discussing earlier, that first hour or so really eases you in.
Yeah.
As like a funny intro movie as it were, and introduce you to all the mechanics, and all of a sudden, bam! Everything just gets difficult, and it is a good crossover game.
I'm really shocked how good it is. Because basically what's happened since we last did a podcast, I've got a Switch. I've managed to get a really good bundle secondhand and stuff. But I actually, Stacey got her hands on Mario Rabbids, but she hasn't got a Switch yet. And it arrived the day I was leaving her house to come back home. So obviously I had to sort of hang around and let her try it for a few hours. And I was really impressed with it. I'm surprised how much plot there is. I'm surprised how good the intro is. Like the animation is almost like theatrical almost. And and Stacey was sitting there I've beaten Shining Force. This should be a doddle, And within after about an hour, she's like, help! They're getting me from every single angle.
Oh god.
There is a lot of depth to it. You do have to think 5 steps ahead. In some battles, there's a lot going on.
It does look really good, that game. you remember at E3 we were just totally blown away by it, because we knew it was coming thanks to the leaks, which is a shame. Because I would love to have seen your guys' general reaction to that if it wasn't leaked. Imagine that would have been insane.
That would have been mental. Yeah.
I hate that though. Things get leaked. Not only did they get leaked, but they get leaked just days before, and it would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I bet the team behind that were really pissed off about that, and would be surprised.
I think it did actually kind of help though, because it all the internet basically got used to the idea that this game was going to exist. Because otherwise, when it first got leaked, people were like, "What the hell? This is a stupid idea." and by the time they actually showed it, and people were like, "Oh, okay then, show us what it's like." Oh my god! Wow! All right.
I'll never forget at the time they actually said it's pretty much based on XCOM. I thought, I got it. Mario, Rabbids, XCOM. How's that going to work exactly? And all of a sudden, bam, there it is.
Yeah,
it works really well.
Baffling concept that they've somehow, they just made it gel together so perfectly.
I think a lot of it was born from necessity because Nintendo had a load of rules, didn't they? They said, don't make a platform game. I was like, okay, well, that's screwed up a lot of ideas there. Yeah. They probably couldn't really do anything that was racing or anything like that for obvious reasons. They probably couldn't do a fighter or anything. Yeah. So it's a lot of it is probably
Nintendo did specifically want them to try something that's never been done with Mario. So
exactly.
They probably agreed.
So I think that's actually kind of a good thing because they could have just ended up with a mini game collection or something typical. You know what I mean?
I still really hope they follow this up with Ubisoft have made a game with Mario in it. Now I want to see Nintendo make a game with Rabbids in it, and what I want them to do is WarioWare plus Rabbids. Just get the original WarioWare guys to make it, and it'll just be WarioWare combined with Rabbids, and most of the games will involve beating up the Rabbids probably in some way. Their WarioWare and Rabbids humour together sounds like it would just
I can
so perfectly. Yeah. So I kind of want to see that happen. I just want a new WarioWare. Hurry up.
It's been a while since the last one.
Since Game and Wario.
Yeah,
that was the last one.
Yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it? That was Wii U launch, wasn't it?
Oh, near launch.
Yeah.
Well, the Miiverse is near enough. Well, probably is dead now.
Wasn't it October?
They're going to stop it, aren't they?
But yeah,
sometime
that game was pretty much. In fact,
I think we may need to do something for that when it's about to shut down. We should play loads of Game & Wario's Miiverse mode because that's absolutely brilliant.
I think a lot of people have been doing that.
I'm not surprised. Just fill it up with loads of crap doodles in 60 seconds.
I don't know why they're taking that down. I just don't get that. It seems to be a Japanese thing. They just sort of take servers down after a while.
Quite quickly, yeah.
Yeah, the worst one for me was Metal Gear Solid 4. Me and Shane were playing that loads. We were just leveling up like mad, just trying to really get all the stuff in it. Yeah. Really enjoying the hell out of it. And then it was not long later they just went, sorry, it's done now. And the game wasn't even that old at that point. Yeah. And it was even sold separately in Japan, wasn't it? Metal Gear Online. It didn't come with 4 like it did over here. So that's it then. If you just got a redundant game now that doesn't work, it just doesn't make sense. Just keep the servers going.
Been playing much else?
Something like Mania, but again, we would know all about that. So
well, that's mainly what I've been playing, to be honest, because obviously we did that Let's Play, that embarrassing Let's Play.
I was just fine.
Yeah, that is definitely the case with that game, though. Your first run of that game is always going to be the worst.
Yeah. I remember I was getting game over and I was like, I don't get game overs on Sonic, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And then, literally the second playthrough I was alright.
yeah, same. Because obviously the game got delayed on PC, so I came around here and played it for the Let's Play.
Yeah.
And then it came out with a bloody DRM on it, so it makes my laptop bloody overheat just trying to play it. But And then I ended up getting a Switch and ended up downloading it for the Switch as well. And I mostly played it on there. I think I put about 20 hours into it and basically completed it with every character combination can with all emeralds and all that kind of stuff. So I've already played it through it that many times, and now I've almost done it again on the PC. Getting all I managed to get all the achievements, I think just yesterday or the day before. So I finally got those bloody blue spears. That first episode of the Let's Play, as soon as I walked in, I went, "Oh look, blue spears." You went, "Well, you're saying that now, but later you're going to say fuck off." And yep, they're fucking horrible. Yeah. It's the only thing I don't like in that game now.
When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, I love these," because I did. I did actually really like them
perfectly. Yeah, and we're gonna just put a load of new ones in that are like purposely tedious and horrible. There was the worst one for me, the one that gave me the most grief. I managed to get silver ages ago, but it still took me forever to get a gold. Is that one where you just walk in rows and go left, and you have to perfectly jump over two?
I absolutely hated that one.
Every single time. I got right to the end and I would miss one. Yeah. Just from pressing it at the right nanosecond.
And sometimes you don't know you've missed it. Like, cause you
have to really listen to the noises, otherwise you don't even know. But I just kept missing like one ring. Yeah. And then just getting a silver, and it's just I couldn't even get a silver most of the time on that one. It was just
that was the other one that pissed me off. There were two that really pissed me off, and it got to the point where, because if I didn't get a gold, just in my mind I was like, and so I'd just give up if I didn't do it. So it got to the point where it was just those two levels that were coming up, and they were the two worst.
Same for me. Yeah.
And that game kind of kills off my love for blue spheres, and then
it kind of has, because I used to really like them. I used to actually put like other games onto Sonic and Knuckles just to see what would come up. Yeah. But now I hate them.
Well, I've now gotten to the point, just like yourself, where I've done like everything now. I even did the Knuckles and Knuckles run.
Yeah, I've done that as well on the Switch. Yeah,
and I've done everything now. I'm just trying to get good times on Time Attack now.
Oh, okay.
Which is that's just opening up a lot more hours for me, because with that game you get the times, you get different sets of times for all three characters as well, which is pretty cool.
I guess the only other tiny disappointment for me, and it's a really pointless one anyway, is I was saying there's one feature in this game that would turn it from tens of hours to hundreds of hours, and that would be a debug mode. Well, it has a debug mode, but it's a bit limited. Like, unlike the original games, you don't get every single item.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You get like a star post, you get rings and item boxes.
You don't even get every enemy on the stage.
You get most of them, I think. You get the Banix, and then that's kind of it. So I was kind of a little bit, because it's got the potential to be the best debug mode ever, because the stuff doesn't despawn. My favourite thing about it was in Green Hill Zone, where you get like the ball that actually has full, like the Wrecking Ball from Sonic 1 that's got full physics, and you could just fill the whole zone with them. And if you put too many of them, they start smacking out and start teleporting and flying around and killing you.
Wow.
And it just go like they actually start pouring down hills and like making a sea of them. That was pretty fun. And if you go into Raj Saloon, you know that Caterpillar boss, the one that like crawls around the sand and jumps out, you can actually put them. You can put loads of them in both Act 1 and 2.
So what, they just keep following you around the whole stage?
Yeah. You just have loads of them. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, I wanted more of that. Yeah, because there's some of it, but you get through a few zones and that's kind of it. But luckily, the modding scene is starting to pick up on the PC version now, and they're not only like replacing sprites and stuff, but they're also finding ways to make debug better. They're making it so you can actually put in things like, for example, you'd go into the Metal Sonic fight and you can actually spawn the little Master System Metal Sonics, so you've got loads of them running around.
Jeez.
And stuff like that. I haven't tried out the modding scene yet, but there is like quite a bit going on now. It's getting a bit mental now. People are doing some weird shit in it. Now they've found out how to, like replace sprites and stuff. So
So basically, kind of as I expected with Mania, it's a game. It's an action game. It's like a retro action game, so it hasn't got you would think it wouldn't have that much replayability. You'd sort of get over it, but not really.
No, I actually think this has it probably has as much replay value for me as Sonic 3 and Knuckles does. Wow. It's just fun to just keep playing it. Yeah. Like you'll go through it and you go, I'll do it again. Yeah. I've played through the game in its entirety with super abilities, all the emeralds. On my Knuckles and Knuckles run, I actually managed to get all the emeralds before I got to the third zone, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I actually already knew where they were now. By
Yeah,
that point,
that's the thing. That those UFO mini games, they do click, don't they?
Yeah,
Now I
that
can do them
fifth
on command.
one is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, the first time you play through the fifth one, or the first 20 times you play through it, it's like, how the hell do you do this?
Yeah.
But once you've done it, and you've done like the 6th and 7th, they're not as bad.
Yeah.
When you go through them again, it's a doddle.
It's weird,
really
isn't it?
weird.
It
just
does
clicks.
just click.
Everything in that game just, once you've... I guess, you know, it doesn't click for everyone. A lot of people go, oh, Sonic's really hard and all this stuff. But, you know, they didn't grow up with Sonic games, so obviously they don't know all the nuances of it.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of nuances. There's a lot of depth to classic Sonic that a lot of people don't see. Like, they think, oh, you just run forward. Oh, I got hit by something. Oh, no, it's over. You know, they lose their rings and go, oh, well, this game's terrible because I keep getting hit when I'm trying to go fast.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of Sonic. The whole point of Sonic is you get hit, you pick your stuff back up, and you keep going.
Yeah.
And for me, I actually find more fun just exploring the levels than I do actually trying to go through them fast. Because if you are trying to just bullet your way through them, like when you do time attach, you'll find you're just going to keep getting pushed backwards by springs and stuff, and it will just frustrate you.
Yeah.
But I just have... And then there's other people that are saying like, oh, 10 minutes time limit isn't enough to explore. It's like, what? It's like, I can like...
Well, yeah, these aren't the greatest, like, hugest levels, are they?
They're massive levels, but like they don't take 10 minutes to get through if you're good, you know. It's the ultimate get good for me. It's really weird because like I'm not very good at a lot of games, but Sonic's one of them ones that obviously Let's Play notwithstanding, that was horrendous. I feel like I've just clicked with it so much that I think I've mostly memorised most of the layouts now. I've just gotten to the point where I can just get all the emeralds in one run within a couple of zones now, probably up to about Flying Battery usually by the time I've got them. I'm glad now that they've patched it so you have Supersonic as a button prompt as opposed to double jumping. They've patched it on the Xbox version, and I believe they haven't done it on the Switch version yet. But
looks like I need to update it then.
Yeah, the PC version.
I've been waiting for that for ages.
Yeah, because obviously if you're playing as Knuckles or Tails and you want to fly or something, you accidentally set off Super. It's like, I don't actually want to be Super right now.
That's the thing
but
about
now
Super.
You can actually
like,
pick it.
Yeah, it's nice to unlock it, but sometimes you just want to play the game normally. You want to listen to the music properly.
You don't want to have that music looping.
Yeah.
I'm glad the loop isn't like 2 seconds long now. the song they picked is actually like 30 seconds or something. Which is nice, but still, with songs like Hydro City and Speedway.
I don't want to accidentally set off Super when I'm just trying to get on the music.
And I do quite often just go Super for some of the bosses now, cause especially that All Ocean one. Fuck that boss.
I hate that boss.
Fuck that boss. I'll just go Super on that and just stand on it. It's like, you can
I've got my pattern down, but it's one of those patterns where you can sort of forget and then go, oh no, now he's turned up.
It's all the bullets they shoot at you. The two, lava reef things. But
what an annoying boss that is.
It is a very annoying boss, but I don't know. That game is absolutely amazing, and as we said earlier, I don't understand why Sega are instantly shitting on that game's parade by putting a mediocre game, a really sloppy, soulless game afterwards. But that's Sega.
It's what I always say about AAA titles. They're doing that. It's like more of the same. But with this one, it's like even less effort's gone into it.
Less of
like
the
even
same.
less than Assassin's Creed.
Less of the same. It's like, do you want Sonic Generations again? I'll be like, yeah, go on then. Do you want it again, but it's worse? What? Do you want a game that's kind of like bits of Sonic 4, but not even quite that?
So that's the thing, they could do another Generations, and they could this time have like DLC.
Hell, they could have just ported Sonic Generations to the Switch, and I'd be happy. I'd buy that instantly. Like,
Generations was really good.
That was
I
a really
liked
bloody
it.
good game. Like the classic Sonic physics were a bit weird, and like the spin dash was insanely overpowered. But other than that, they designed the levels around that version of classic Sonic, so it worked. And it was a really... until Mania, it was the best Sonic game in yonks. And I don't know what's happened since then.
It just... I think I mentioned it before, but it's just like that game was screaming out for DLC and it never got
and it never happened.
You could have had so many cool returning zones from the Mega Drive and like the Game Gear and stuff like that, but no, they just just didn't bother.
Yeah, Sonic Team are weird. I don't know why they keep letting them.
It's like they don't want to do well.
I think that's what it is. I think Sonic Team literally don't want to make Sonic games, and they've been just protesting for years. It's like, please stop making us make these. I know they make money, but. But yeah, Sonic Mania, you can just tell that's the first Sonic game in forever where it feels like some real passion's gone into it. But yeah, as I say, over the last few weeks I got my hands on a Switch, and it came with Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8. I wouldn't have bought Mario Kart 8 separately if I had to, because I already had it on Wii U, but it came with it. So the last 3 Nintendo systems I bought have all come with Mario Kart. 3DS had 7 with it. My Wii U had 8 with it, and now my Switch has had 8 Deluxe with it. I haven't played a lot of Splatoon yet. I've started Breath of the Wild. I guess I've done about 6 hours in that.
Okay.
I'm pretty bad at it.
No one's good at that game. That game is too hard.
I mean, like, for me, it's just remembering all the buttons. Like, you know, you got all the buttons for, like, changing your sword and changing your shield. And And then you've got the throwing the weapon button and the bow button and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously you've got to take into account that everything breaks, including your bows. You have to go and pick them up again.
Yeah.
But
I think the thing
having said all that,
yeah,
I'm really enjoying it. And when I'm not getting my ass kicked by every hobgoblin I see or whatever they're called, I find it really peaceful and really calming.
It is, yeah.
And it's just nice to just walk around and jump
it's
on
almost
my
like
horse. I got my first. I think I've lost him now, but I tamed my first horse, and I was just like getting on him, running around.
I love how you can get on the paths and the horse just takes control, and all you got to do is press the run button.
Oh,
yeah! If you get on any of the major paths, you don't have to steer him. You can just sit there. And go,
I thought he was just like. Because when I first started, obviously, he was like wrestling control away from me. Is that how it works? Like, over time, he'll let you control him?
Well, no, you can come off the path whenever you want, but if you just let it go, he'll just auto-run.
Oh, because I thought he was just, like, taking control away from me because he isn't fully... well, there is that as well, yeah. Yeah, I suppose that would be it. Because every time you, like, do the little calm thing, hearts pop up.
The one thing I need to say about Zelda Breath of the Wild is I think a lot of people might have problems with it because they're programmed with Zelda just to go, right, fight, do the fight. Whereas this game encourages you to either think about ways of beating the fight without necessarily charging in, or just not bothering. Sometimes you just don't need to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I like about it, actually. I've actually really liked the fact that they're not making me bash my head against a wall trying to do the same fight over and over again. I can just walk away and just do something else.
You can either get really crafty and do things like, throwing ice and firing stuff around and stealthily taking them out and stuff. Or, not 9 times out of 10, but more often than not, you don't need to do the fight. You can just you can find other ways of getting around it and stuff like that. And that's what I've noticed about this hard mode. I've only just started it myself.
Oh, right.
But, I mean, it's so hard that I just pretty much don't want to fight on this playthrough. I just want to sneak around and do the shrines until I'm like, do the shrines, collect rupees, get like your armor really maxed out, come back when you're just like, that's the thing about hard mode. You just don't want to fight anything at the start because I used all my weapons on one enemy and didn't kill him.
I feel like that's been happening to me even on just regular. Like, for me, I had to just fast travel away from it, but I was not even close, not even a stone throws away from the Calamity Ganon area, the big castle. But that area was just a shit show. Like, you go anywhere near it. There was one tower that I had to climb there, and there was just like 4 of those guardian things.
Oh, I know that
stationary, all pointing lasers at me. As it's like, I'm just trying to climb the fucking tower. It's just like every time you got there, it's just like I managed to get up to the top of it eventually, but it took me ages. And then I was just like, I need to get the fuck out of this area because one, there was just guardians everywhere. And other massive enemies that I didn't even go anywhere near because I was like, fuck that. There was, and then it started doing this thing where like it was going nighttime, and then like,
was it the blood moon?
Blood moon thing. Yeah. That's it. And then it was just like, you know what?
I still don't fully understand. Do you know what that's about?
It resurrects all the enemies that you've defeated.
Yeah.
So it resurrected about 3 enemies for me. But
So that's about it then.
So yeah, I found it a little bit frustrating at times like that, where it's like, I just want to find another melee weapon. I actually have no weapons right now, or no bows. I have a bunch of crossbows, but I have no arrows.
That's my one thing I'd like to change about Breath of the Wild is, can you just make the weapon dexterity just a little bit better?
Yeah, because most of them break within 2 hits. So,
it doesn't get better throughout the game. They still
At one point, I found this little lake, flooded area, and it was full of rusty swords. I was like, oh wow, I've got 12 rusty swords. They lasted about 5 minutes. It was Christ away. It's just smack. Oh, it's broken. Already. But yeah, I did learn how, when you throw them, they do more damage when they break, so that's quite useful.
Yeah, when your weapon's about to break, just throw and get a headshot and you'll get loads of damage,
So, I haven't played a lot of it yet, but it's definitely the Zelda game, as I was hoping from watching you play it and watching others play it. I was like, oh, this is the Zelda game that I might actually want to get into, instead of just playing it for a couple hours and going, like I have with almost every single other one. I don't know why, they've just never clicked for me. Even Wind Waker and stuff, which I know are amazing games. I wouldn't say they're bad by any means. They've just never clicked with me. I just sort of played them for a little bit and gone, I'm not really motivated to play it. But this one, it's because it's so open and there's so much you can just sort of walk around and do what you want. I feel like I don't even have to worry about the story if I don't want to. At the moment, I'm at the point where there's it told me to find Impa. That's pretty much that's the last thing I was specifically told to do. So
it's one of those few games, isn't it, where it's just a world that's nice to persist in, even if you're not doing it. Nothing.
One of my favourite things is the cooking.
I got really into cooking as well. We got to the point where
I haven't made a bad thing yet. Apparently,
all right. It got to the point where Kat was just sick of hearing. So I was just making everything under the sun.
I had this really good point where I was right near one of the cold tall areas, and I just so happened to make something that gave me 7.5 minutes of cold resistance, because I'm still in my default clothes. I haven't even got any other clothes yet or armour or anything.
On that point, I saw something today. It was a fan mod that's now getting sort of, I can't think of the word, getting
popularity
noticed, by Bethesda pushing it with that Creation Club, which I know is a bit of a funny subject. But there's a survival mode for Skyrim that's basically, I'm calling it Breath of the Wild mode, because you have to contend with cold, you have to eat things to warm up. You get illnesses are even worse than they were
I saw
before.
That was announced today, wasn't it?
You get hunger. Yeah, I think it's coming out, it's being beta tested next week or something. You get to try it for a week and then it comes out.
So that's quite funny how it's come round, because Breath of the Wild feels like they've taken some influence from a lot of Western games Skyrim and Witcher and stuff like that. And now it's sort of come back round.
Because that survival mode does just look like they're kind of, because there's already a survival mode in Fallout 4 that does a lot of that. It has hunger, and illnesses, and all that kind of stuff. But this has gone one step further, because you're in Skyrim where it's cold. They've had to contend with that. If you jump in freezing water, they really just fucks you up. Basically, you're done for, and all that kind of stuff. I just think that's really cool. I'm going to grab that. I was doing games that kick my ass with legendary difficulty. Imagine adding this on top of legendary difficulty. It'll be games that completely destroy my ass.
Destroy your ass. Completely wreck it.
It'll never be the same again.
So I guess for me, so far on the Switch, it's mainly been Sonic Mania, and then it's been my Mania machine. We went on me and Stacey went on a cruise holiday a couple of weeks ago now for a week, across some bits of Europe. I got her that. I announced that holiday for her on her birthday in April, and then when we were there, I proposed to her. So.
Congratulations!
Got to bring that up.
Thought I'd bring that up.
But
what is this? We just announced births and engagements on this. What is this? Congratulations.
The point I was actually going to come to, other than that, was whatever.
That's just a throwaway.
Yeah. Was the fact that I actually got my Switch like about 3 days before we went. So
I was going to comment on the Facebook post. Aren't you supposed to be on a holiday or something?
Yeah. But the fact that I bought that like a few days before, it was like this. It was almost the thing that made me buy it, because it was like this will be the ultimate test to see what they're advertising it as works, like how the whole having it portable and then having it docked. Because I took the dock with me and I put it in the TV in the cabin.
Yeah.
It was just seeing how it goes from, because obviously we had quite a few hours to travel to Southampton in the car, and then we had time on the boat and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a really good test to see how all of that works, and I'm just really impressed with it's as advertised. Like, do you remember how the Wii, when they first advertised it as like the motion controls are so immersive and amazing, and it just sort of resorted to just waggle. And it was just like until Motion Plus came along and sort of added to it. But like when they first advertised it, they made it look like what Motion Plus was later. But with the Switch, the way what they're advertising it as, it is exactly that. I'm really surprised how seamless and how slick it is, and like actually just taking a thing out and it just appears on the screen. I'm surprised how quick it is. And well, one thing I noticed when I was at Stacey's is when I docked it, it didn't just change it onto the Switch. It actually turned the TV on. It somehow knew to go onto the right channel and everything, and it just found it.
That's weird.
Like, what?
That is one of the features in the settings.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So it must be certain television.
It must be certain TVs. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I guess the last couple of days I double dipped on a Thumper on the Switch as well, because that was like reduced on there to about £12 or something, and that's one of my favourite games in the last couple of years, even though I'm crap at it. But bloody hard as
that's
nails,
really
but
good, that
such a good game. I still think the best way of playing it is VR. Like when we played it on PSVR.
I didn't actually try it myself. I missed out on that one.
It works really well, because the whole thing with that game is it's just a big long winding road, like a massive long road that goes on into like vanishing point, and you can sort of see where it's going to turn in the long distance. But in the VR version, you can sort of like you can almost like lie down and get flatter with the road, or you can stand up and you can see a bit more of it and stuff like that. So obviously you don't get that in the PC or like the standard version.
That's pretty
like
cool.
The non-VR versions. But yeah, I'm really surprised it's exactly the same on the Switch. Like I thought it would be like, I don't know, slightly less good looking or something, but it looks identical even when you got it on handheld. The other night I was playing it with the lights off, just the screen on, with the Joy-Cons in bed, and just getting frustrated with it, but it was still really cool. Just like the HT Rumble's pretty good on it as well. Like when you got like this little dung beetle, well not dung beetle, like some kind of like, I don't know what you would even call it. It's some kind of metallic beetle on the road. And you can sort of like grind it against the edges of the road. And when you do that, each side of the Joy-Con, like each Joy-Con like rumbles just subtly, as if you're grinding against each side. It's just cute, nice little touches like that. I really hope developers use HD Rumble more, because I've only noticed like little instances of it. One of them in Mario Kart, when you collect coins, it sort of rumbles in a way that it sounds like the coin noise. It's really bizarre. Like it actually, the vibration noise sort of goes bling.
Oh.
It's really freaky.
That is weird.
It's like, the first time I did it, I was like, what is that? And I was like, what? I was looking at it, I was like, that is just the coin noise in vibrations. It's like they've somehow made the sound out of vibrations. It was really freaky. And I was just thinking, there needs to be more examples of that. Another example I noticed is in tried out a few demos, and there was one for that Blaster Master Zero.
Oh yeah.
And the intro, which is basically just a remake of the NES one, where you got the car like charging up and it like flies through the cave or whatever. With the HD Rumble, you actually felt it drive into the distance. It's really freaky. Like when it's starting up, you feel it shaking, and then as it drives off, it like fades away. It's like is it like sound waves? Is that what they're doing? Are they using sound waves to make the vibrations?
Possibly.
That's what it feels like sometimes. It feels like it's hard to describe, but
I don't know.
yeah, it's just really unique. And
obviously, my best exposure to that was when we played that game on 1-2 Switch. With the balls.
That's still 1-2 Switch is still the best example of what that can do. But I really hope more developers utilise.
I mean, I couldn't get over how that actually felt
really
like there was
bizarre.
something in a box. Like that was just so good.
Well, apparently, Rockstar have worked out how to do HD Rumble for LA Noire.
Right.
So that's going to be quite interesting.
I wonder how they're going to utilise that.
Well, if you pick something up and sort of turn your hand,
you reckon it might have some of that?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
I think
I do hope
play through the Xbox 360 version. I think using the analog stick, to turn what was in my hand, it sort of vibrated then. So it might be like a little updated version of that.
I hope
where
so.
It's like,
Yeah,
I found the sweet spot.
That's got to be. I really hope that's going to be more of a thing.
Yeah, because I can see other uses for that. Like, for instance, your game where, again, you're picking stuff up and moving it around like that. And you've got all that there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Shenmue.
Oh, that would be amazing. Don't even get me started. That would be so
Before
good.
you you get the capsule toy out, but you actually
You got
get to
with
with the controller. Yeah, you can do that as
You
well.
got to turn
but
the controller.
when the capsule comes out, he doesn't just automatically open it. You can move it around and you can feel the toy.
Yeah.
Oh, this might be a Sonic one. I don't know. I'm looking for this.
That'd be cool.
I guess my only other really surprising favourite thing about the Switch is playing it with just the Joy-Cons, just relaxed like Wii Remote and Nunchuck style.
Yeah.
I thought like that, the buttons instead of a D-pad would be a bit shit, but I'm actually really, with Sonic Mania, it was just like second nature. I was just sitting there like, it's really surprised. So far I'm actually really impressed with the Switch. Kind of fallen in love with it, and now I get why people were port begging, because the convenience of it more than anything is what's really having to set the Wii U up and hook up all, because my setup is a complete clusterfuck with all the HDMIs and stuff. Having to swap the HDMIs around, get the right channel out, and sort of plug in the gamepad again because it's always flat. Or just any of the consoles really. The only other system that's really convenient for me is Steam on my laptop, because it's just on my laptop. And even then, I still have to fart ass about to set up the controller on the Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff. But with the Switch, it's just on, plug, done. And it's just really easy and no nonsense. So that's mainly what I've been playing for the last few weeks, really.
Okay, So for me, my gameplay's gone down a bit lately, so it's just Metroid and GTA, but I'm not bloody talking about GTA again, because I mention it every bloody time.
What, you mean Grind Theft Auto?
Grind Theft Auto.
Which I'm sure we've done that pun before, because it's been that long.
I'm just,
It's gotten to the point now where you've had Shane round with a separate TV and a separate Xbox playing grinding at the same time in the same room.
Oh yeah, we're doing lots of that. The amount of bloody time I've sunk into that game. I've made myself a promise now where I have to get it out of my system by the end of the year, because I'm not spending another whole year just playing GTA Online.
It has become a
so
thing, hasn't it?
That's been me lately. So it's been Kingdom, what is it, sorry? Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
That's it.
Yeah. And EGX.
Yeah.
You bastard.
That's the podcast in a summary. We're getting tired.
Yeah, I'm really... I need to get back on GTA.
Will and Trudy took it up.
I need to get back on Metroid Zero Mission.
Yes.
But yeah,
I think I'll be... Yeah.
We all need to get editing. For me, at the moment, it's mainly getting back on Gagaman and Cherry. We've recorded a few episodes since we got back, so we need to get them edited. And I've also got the travel log for the holiday that I want to do as well, because there's loads of dumb clips. So, basically...
I like dumb clips.
So,
yeah.
Thanks for listening to The Lucky Pod.
The Lucky Pod.
The Lucky Pod. We've been going for ages.
We've been carrying on up the Birmingham. Thanks for listening. Bye.
I've been the Gagaman.
I've been Murry Curry.
And I've been Jonny Newhead.
Thank you for listening.
Cheerio.
Yeah.
not the most enthusiastic outro, is it?
Not really. That'll do, pig.